Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. My name is Kelly, and today I'll be guiding you through a mat Pilates class. No props are needed today. All you need is your mat or a towel or a blanket, whatever you have on hand. And as always, please listen to your body. If you need to make any modifications along the way, please go ahead and do so. So let's get started. We're going to be standing right in the center of our mat just to start warming up the body. So I'm going to start about hip distance apart. Shoulders roll back, and we're just going to start with a nice deep lunge. So I'm going to take one leg back behind me, and I'm going to bend both knees nice and deep, keeping your chest lifted. As I stand up, I'm going to bring that back knee up towards my chest. So same side, we go back down into that lunge, stand up, lift the knee towards the chest. So just starting to bring some heat into the body, warming up the muscles. It is still kind of early for a lot of us. So just going to get the blood flowing. And if this is too much for you, you can just go ahead and stand up, bringing the feet together without the leg lift. Use the core to help find your balance at the top. Exhale as you come up, inhale as you go down. Take your time, you can go as slow or as fast as you like this morning. Let's just do one more here. Come all the way up, just hold, find your balance for 3, 2, 1, and step it down. Reset, let's go right into the other side. So we'll step that other leg back, stand up and pull the knee up into the chest. Trying to get nice and deep through both knees. Again, we're trying to bring some warmth through the body. You might find that your balance is a little better on one side than the other. I know mine is. Again, trying to use that core to bring the knee up to the chest. Let's do 2 more here. Last one. Bring that knee all the way up. Just hold for 3, 2, and 1. Lower the foot, hip distance apart. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, diving forward, lowering the head and hands all the way down to the mat. Give the head a little nod, a little shake. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, tuck the tail, give a slight bend in the knees. As you round the spine, coming all the way back up, shoulders back, head goes up. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, diving forward. One vertebrae at a time as you roll down to the mat. Let the head and arms hang heavy. Feel free to give a generous bend in the knees here if that helps with your body. Inhale, exhale, tuck the tail. Slowly round up, nice and slow. One vertebrae at a time, shoulders roll back, head comes up last. 2 more like that. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, slowly fold down over the legs. Again, feel free to bend the knees if that's better for your body. Shake the head yes and no. You can grab opposite elbows, whatever feels good for you here. Inhale. Exhale, touching that tail, slowly rounding as you roll all the way. Last one. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, folding over the legs. Dropping the head. Deep inhale here. And exhale, slowly round it up. And we should be nice and warm. Let's go ahead and have a seat on our mat. We'll extend both legs long. So you're going to have those legs out towards the corners of your mat. And we'll sit up nice and tall. If you're having trouble sitting up tall, if you feel like you're slumped back, you can bend the knees slightly, which will help you stay a little more neutral here. So let's go ahead and bring those hands behind the head. Sitting up tall, we're going to tuck the pelvis rounding back like we're doing a half roll back. But as we do, you're going to rotate to one side. So I'm going to hollow the belly, round back, but then also rotate. So I'm going to look right at you. And then inhale, come back up to center. Other side. So tuck the pelvis round back and rotate to one side. Inhale, come back up to neutral. So we're going to keep alternating like this. Hollow the belly, round back and look. Inhale, come back up to center. Taking your time. Again, if this is too much with the legs extended, you can go ahead and fully bend the knees, whatever feels best for your body. You should start to feel those obliques turning on. Exhale as you come up. So only go as far back as you can feel control with that belly rounding. Elbows stay wide. Chin is off the chest. Really close those ribs. Exhale down. Inhale. Nice wide elbows here. Try not to use the hands to pull the head up. Fingertips are just lightly on the back of the head. And inhale up. Good. A few more here. Again, taking your time. do one more on each side here. So I'm gonna go to my right, and up, left, and up, and we're gonna add on this time. So I'm gonna go down to my right and hold. Now this time as I come up, I'm gonna pull my opposite knee up and meet in the center. So shoulder to knee, and send it all the way back as I rotate down. So rotate up, and rotate back. Rotate up, and rotate back. Again, think about trying to bring your shoulder to your knee, not just your elbow, so you get that full rotation. Again, if this is too much for you this morning, you can go back with just the roll up and down. Exhale, inhale back. 2 more. And last one this side. We'll roll back, roll up to center, come all the way back up, and we'll switch sides. So tuck the pelvis, round back, rotate. We're gonna come up to center, meet that shoulder to knee, and send it back. Shoulder to knee, and send it back. Exhale up, inhale back. Stay on the same side here. And exhale, inhale. Using the core, not momentum. I know it's easy to start using a little bit of momentum if you get tired. Let's go for 2. Those obliques should be on. Last one, send it back first. Come all the way back up into center. Just take a little squeeze of those knees, little hug. Hopefully those hip flexors aren't on too much. And we'll send the legs straight out. So I'm just gonna have them about hip distance apart now as we go into our roll down. So again, if you need to bend the knees so you can sit up tall to neutral, feel free to do so. Arms go straight out in front. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, tuck the pelvis, start rounding back away from the legs. And this time we're gonna go all the way down to the mat. But let's see how slow we can go. So really take your time. Feel every vertebrae hit the mat one at a time. As the head goes down, the arms reach back overhead by the ears. We're gonna keep the ribs closed though, so don't take those arms back too far. Still reaching through the legs. Inhale, arms come up to the sky. On the exhale, use the core, not momentum, to slowly round all the way over the legs. Inhale, sit up tall. Again, exhale, tuck the pelvis, slowly round down one vertebrae at a time. Taking your time, really control. Arms go back overhead. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, close the ribs. Use the core, round all the way over the legs. Inhale, sit up tall. One more like this. Exhale, slowly round down. Take your time. Control. Arms reach back overhead, ribs closed. Inhale, arms reach up to the sky. Exhale, tuck the chin. Roll all the way up over the legs. Inhale, sit up tall. This time, let's just round all the way back down to the bottom and hold. So slowly taking your time, all the way down. Arms come down by the sides. So let's take those arms up to the letter T. We're gonna have the palms down towards the floor. And let's open our legs mat width apart. So again, we wanna be towards the corners of the mat with the feet, reaching through the heels. So you can get some more length through those legs. From here, I'm gonna keep my left hand down onto the floor. So I'm actually gonna be pressing that left hand to the floor, and this right arm's gonna reach up. So I'm gonna take a big inhale. On the exhale, I'm gonna do a crunch up like a V, reach my right arm outside of my left leg. So I'm pressing into the floor with my left hand, slowly control it down, take that right arm down. So really use the leverage of the floor on that left side to help you sit up. So inhale, exhale, press into the floor, obliques work to reach. Inhale, control it down. So we're staying on the same side here, using my right side. Exhale, reach it up. Inhale, slowly down. Again, press into the floor, reach. Inhale, control. Option to bend that left knee if you need to, or to limit the range of motion, not press all the way up if you need a little less. Exhale, reach. Really trying to use those obliques to get you up there. Let's do 2 more. Exhale, press into the floor. And last one here. Exhale, press and reach. All the way down. Good. So just take those knees, bring them into the chest. Rock them side to side, keeping those arms a letter T. And we'll go right into the other side. So let's extend those legs out to the corners of the mat. Again, you really want to press into the floor with that opposite hand, so set the shoulders down. I'm going to reach my left hand to the outside of my right ankle this time. So big inhale. Exhale, press to the floor, reach it up. Inhale, lower with control. Exhale, press and reach. Inhale, lower. So really starting to feel those obliques work here. Trying not to use too much momentum, but you can use that arm pressing into the floor to assist you. And exhale, press. 3 more here. Press and release. Last 2, press and release. Last one here. Press. Control, release. Knees come in. Let's drop the knees to one side, lift the gaze to the opposite side. Big inhale, exhale to center, and switch. Good. So bringing those knees back into center. I'm gonna start with the legs in tabletop, arms just down by the sides, and then we'll extend both legs straight up. So what I want you to find first is a nice imprinted spine, so no space between the low back and the mat. I'm gonna have a little bend in the knees just because my hamstrings are tight per usual. You can straighten them all the way if that feels better for you. So we're just gonna go into a lower and lift with the legs. So I'm just gonna take my legs down only as far as I can maintain that imprint. So no space coming into the low back. On the exhale, I'm gonna use my deep low belly to pull those legs up to the top. So I inhale to lower the legs down. Exhale, pulling deep from the low belly, the legs come back up to the sky. So I'm not super worried about how low your legs go. The focus is on that pulling up from the low abdominals. So we're not out for a huge range of motion. We're out to really use the abs and get deep into that core to pull the legs up to the top. Try not to press into the arms too much here. Maybe turn the palms to the sky. That helps you get out of the shoulders and the neck. And slow as you come up. See if you can take a 3 count to bring those legs to the top. So exhale, 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's do 2 more. Inhale down. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. Last one here. Inhale, lower. Exhale for 3, 2, 1. And hug the knees into the chest. Give a little rock side to side. We'll take the legs straight back up to the sky. So again, option have a little bend in the knees if that feels better for your body. We're gonna lower and lift the legs again, but this time we're gonna add a little crisscross of the legs. So I'm gonna crisscross as I slowly lower the legs down, and then crisscross as I bring the legs back up. So crisscross lower, and crisscross raise. 3 count in each direction. We lower for 3, 2, 1, raise for 3, 2, 1. Take your time. Again, keeping that imprint the whole time. No space between the low back and the mat. And you should really start to feel those obliques turn on just with this little crisscross. Again, feel free to lower those legs as far as you can maintain that imprint. And lower. And lift. Make sure the neck and shoulders are relaxed, no tension. And lift. Let's do 1 more set. We'll go down. And slowly up. And then hug those knees into the chest. Give them a nice big squeeze. Rock side to side. Very nice work, everyone. Let's take those feet flat on the mat, hip distance apart. Arms are by the sides. This time we definitely want those palms pressing down into the mat. Open the collarbones wide. Feet are pressing firmly into the mat. We'll take a deep inhale. On the exhale, press into the feet, tuck the tail, and roll the hips to the sky, finding a nice shoulder bridge position. So you've got one long line from shoulder to knee, ribs are closed. Take your hands just for a second and touch the back of your hamstrings. You want to feel those hamstrings on. If they're not on, so you can press into the heels just a little more and tense up those hamstrings so you know they're working hard. Inhale at the top. Exhale, lead with your sternum. Slowly articulate down with control, 1 vertebrae at a time. As slow as you can go. Tailbone hits last, release to neutral. Inhale here. Exhale, press into the feet, turn on the back of the legs, roll the hips to the sky. Find shoulder bridge at the top. Inhale. Exhale from the sternum, slowly roll down. See if you can lengthen through the knees. and slowly release at the bottom. Again, inhale here. Exhale, pressing the feet, roll the hips up, feel the back of the legs turn on. Inhale, and exhale, control it down. Taking this at your own pace, let's do 2 more. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale, pressing the feet, roll the hips to the top, bending those glutes and hamstrings, turning on. Inhale here. Exhale, slowly roll it down. 1 more of the full range. Inhale here. Exhale, pressing the feet, lifting the hips. Inhale at the top. And exhale, slowly roll it down. So feel like a nice massage for the spine, especially here in the morning, just waking up. So let's roll the hips to the top and hold. So all the way up, hold it here. This time we're just gonna hinge the hips down. So we hinge the hips down right above the mat, maybe an inch or 2, and exhale, press into the feet to lift the hips. So instead of rolling, we're keeping that neutral spine. We just lower it down and lift it up. Try to squeeze that behind as you get to the top so you can really feel those hamstrings turning on. And exhale, lift. Let's do 3 more here. Again, take your time. Let's really keep those knees hip distance apart. Feel free to put a pillow or a block between the knees if you need to. The last one to the top and hold. From here, we're just gonna walk 1 foot out and then the other foot, and then I'll walk it back in and in. So we go out, out, in, in. Now the goal is to walk it out and in without letting those hips drop. So you're still pressing up into those feet to keep the hips high. So no drooping of those hips. So we go out, out, in, out, out, in. Just a few more here. Glutes and hammies should be talking to you by now. 1 more set. Out, out, in, hips high. Slowly roll it down, articulating the spine all the way down, and then head those knees into the chest. Take a nice rock side to side. We'll take the hands on the back of the legs, and let's rock and roll ourselves all the way to the seat. So we can flip over and turn to a prone position on our tummies. So you're gonna have your face right down into the mat, so I hope it's clean. Pubic bone into the mat, and this time your hands are gonna go long behind you by your hips. We're gonna press the palms down into the floor. So you're gonna keep the legs heavy to start. Again, the pubic bone's in the mat. If you feel a little crunching in your low back, you can open the legs just a little wider than hip distance, maybe to the corners of your mat. Taking a deep inhale here. On the exhale, press the hands down into the mat to pull the shoulder blades down the back, lift the chest, and look just 2 inches in front of your face. Now your belly button's pulling up to protect the low back. Inhale here, and then exhale, slowly lower. Inhale. Exhale, press with the hands, lift the chest, just look 2 inches in front of you, driving those shoulders down the back, and slowly lower. At your own pace, just thinking about that belly button picking up off the mat to protect the low back. If you're feeling any tension in that low back, don't lift the chest quite as high. And exhale to lift, look, and reach. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Let's go for 3. We lift and reach. Control it down. Last 2. And lower. Last one, lift and hold. This time we're going to take those legs, lift them off the mat, and slowly lower. Same thing here, chest and legs. Press with the hands, lift the chest, lift the legs. Belly button still pulls up. Control it down. Taking it at your own pace, draw the shoulders down the back, press the hands into the mat, and slowly control. Again, if this is too much on the low back, don't lift quite as high. You can also omit the legs and just do the chest. Whatever works best for your body this morning. Just getting some nice work in for the back of the body. And lower, let's do 3 more. For 3. Control it down. Last 2. And down, last one, lift and hold. Hold it here, lift the hands off the mat this time. The hands go long behind you, rolling those shoulders open. We're gonna pulse the pinkies and the toes together. So we squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. That belly button is still pulling up, looking about 2 inches in front of your face. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Bring the hands by the shoulders. Press back, find a child's pose. Reaching those arms long, setting the toes down, your heels down, your feet on top of your heels. Just take a deep breath in here, and a long exhale out. Deep breath in. Long exhale. One more deep breath in. Exhale, slowly round it up. And we're going to come to side lying. So we're going to be on our forearm today. So forearm down, we want that elbow right underneath the shoulder. Fingers are facing away from your body. Palm is flat. I'm going to take my top hand in front of me for support. I'm going to get this hair off my shoulder because it's driving me crazy. And I'm going to take my top knee, bending in front of my bottom leg so that foot goes flat down onto the mat. And we're going to work this bottom leg. So make sure the side body is lifting up away from your floor, away from your mat. You don't want to be sinking down into that shoulder just like you're lounging at the beach. So really press up and away from the floor so that side body is working. Now that bottom leg, we're going to think length through the leg. So instead of thinking about lifting straight up, we're going to think about lifting out and lower. So you lift and lower, but we're thinking length through the leg. So really reach through those toes. Feel that inner thigh turn on here. Exhale, reach and lower. Reach and lower. Still pushing up through that shoulder. Pushing away from the floor. For 2. Last one, lower down. So now we're going to take that top foot and we're going to place it right on top of our bottom thigh. So I'm just going to have my toes right above my knee. So almost like you're making a tree pose with your feet here. And we're going to lift that bottom thigh again. So you're lifting this entire shape. We lift up and down, up and down. Again, think about length through that bottom leg. You're not getting very high. As you can see, I'm not going too far here. But you're just adding a little bit of extra weight for that inner thigh. For 2. Last one, lower down. Bend both knees, stack them on top of each other, so right towards the front of your mat. And this time we're going to leave the bottom leg down. We're going to lift the top leg up, so we're still pushing away from the mat here. Top leg comes up. I'm going to take that knee, rotate it down towards the floor, tap in front of my bottom knee, and then send that leg straight back behind me. So the knee comes forward, it taps down on the floor, and then we extend it back. Bend, tap, press back. Bend, tap, and press back. So as you're tapping down, you're rotating that knee towards the floor. So you have an internal rotation of that leg. And we tap and back. Double check that shoulder. Are you sinking? You should start to feel your booty fire up here. For 2. Last one here. Send it back. Bring that leg forward in line with the hip and just draw little circles with that leg. So again, you should be feeling your side booty or your glute medius and your abductors. Let's reverse. We go back, down and around. Almost done with this side. Last thing here. For 2. 1, slowly lower. Roll onto your back. Take a figure 4, stretch that side. So ankle over opposite knee. Pull that thigh in towards you. Little stretch. Enjoy, because we do the other side. Hug the knees in. Rock and roll all the way up, and we'll switch sides. So same thing, other side. Setting up with that elbow right underneath the shoulder. Palm is down, fingers are facing away from the body. We're going to extend that bottom leg. Bend the top knee, bring the foot right in front of your bottom thigh. Again, really pushing up through that side body. You want to create a little space underneath here. Top hand in front of you for support. Again, let's think about length through that bottom leg. So we reach and lower. It's not about how high you get, but really creating that length. And reach, lower, exhale, lift, and lower. Just a few more here for 2. 1, lower down. Let's take that top foot. It's going to come on top of our bottom thigh. So my toes are right above my knee. You're making this tree pose like they do in yoga. Again, pushing down through that top hand. The entire shape lifts up and down, up and down. Reaching through that leg. Again, you're not going to lift very high. That's okay. Lift and lower. Just for 2. Last one, lower down. Bend both knees. The knees come forward. Again, pushing up through that side body. Now lift the top leg. The knee's going to come down and tap in front of my bottom knee. And then I'll send that leg back behind me. So we come forward, internally rotate, tap, and send it back. Forward, tap, and send it back. Down and up. Down and up. Again, you should start to feel that outer booty. Trying to press behind the body. Let's go for 2 more here. Last one, tap. And back, bring the leg in line with the body, little circles here. Forward, down, and around. Keep pushing up through that side body. For 2, 1, reverse. We go back, down and around. Still thinking about length through that leg. For 2, 1, lower down, roll onto your back. Taking a nice figure 4 stretch. Opposite ankle over knee. Nice little stretch here. And hugging the back of the knee. So rock and roll up to a seat. So we're going to come back onto our forearms. I'm going to have my forearms behind me with my fingers facing my behind, pushing up through those shoulders again. The elbows are right underneath those shoulders. And then try not to sink down towards the mat. So what we don't want is this. You really want to push up through those shoulders, broaden the chest, close the ribs so that the core is engaged. I'm going to bring one leg to tabletop and then the other. So those obliques, the core, everything is engaged. I'm going to take those knees, slowly rotate them to one side. My opposite hip lifts. And then on the exhale, my core brings the legs through center. Alternating sides. So we inhale over to the side. Exhale, knees come through center. Still pushing up through those arms. Only going as far as you can control. Ribs staying closed. Using those obliques and that momentum to bring you back through center. And I'm even getting a nice little massage on those glutes that I just worked. So added bonus. Exhale, center. Again, trying not to use momentum. We're really focusing on using the core, using the obliques to move side and center. Pushing up through those shoulders, ribs stay closed. One more on each side. We'll come back to center. This time I'm going to rotate and hold, extend the legs, bend the knees, and come through center. Switching sides. Rotate, extend, bend, and center. So like you're doing the can-can. Just preparing us for Rockets tryouts this year. Bend and center. Still pushing up through those shoulders. Can we feel those obliques on yet? I sure can. Rotate, press, bend, and center. Press, bend, and center. Do you think we should take it up a notch after this? I think we might have to. I'm sure I just all heard you say collective yes. Hear it all the way over here. Last set here. Let's come back to center. This time I'm going to rotate the hips, extend the legs, keep them out, bring them up through center, over to the other side. So same thing, we just have a long lever now. And that long lever is going to make this much more challenging. We won't do quite as many. If this is too much for you, go ahead and bend the knees again. Just 2 more sets. Keep pushing up through those arms. And center 1 more each side. And up, bend the knees. 1 foot comes down, then the other. Lower yourself down. Hug the knees, rock side to side. Very nice work. Let's take a little core break. We'll hold on the back of the legs. Rock and roll yourselves all the way to a seat. And we're going to come to all fours. So hands underneath the shoulders. And we'll have the knees underneath the hips. Start by pushing away from the floor. Fingertips are spread wide. Ribs are pulling up away from the floor. So I'm going to start just with my right leg here. I'm going to bring that to a footprint position, as I'll call it. So my foot is flexed, my knee is parallel to the ground. Make sure your weight is evenly weighted through both hips here. So you're not sinking all your weight into that left side because your right leg's lifted. From here, just going to put a little footprint on the ceiling. So you're going to press up from that glute to put a little footprint on the ceiling. So just trying to press your foot up to the sky. Feeling that glute turn on, make sure the core is engaged, not hanging out towards the floor. Last one, lower the knee down so it hovers just above the mat, right into a fire hydrant. So I'm going to lift that leg out to the side and lower down. Lift it out to the side, lower down. Lift and lower. Again, trying to evenly weight your body between both sides. Not sinking all your weight into the side, that's stabilizing. For 2. Last one, send that leg straight back, lift and lower the leg. Really push up through those shoulders again. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth for 2. 1 and hold. So I'm going to sweep the leg around towards my right hand, press that foot down. I'm going to sink forward into like a runner's lunge. So I get a nice little stretch here. And then I'm going to pick that foot up, shift my weight back. The knee comes underneath my body, it's hovering, and then I send the leg back. So it goes forward to the floor, runner's lunge, back underneath the body, and send it back. Sweep forward lunge, bend, and back. Forward lunge, bend, and back. So now you're getting the whole body working here. Your leg, your core, your arms. Feel free to pick up the pace or take it slower, whatever your body needs. Bend and back. Let's do 2 more here. Last one. Send it back, hold. From here, keep that leg long. Tap it across the body behind you. Tap the floor and send it back. So we tap across and back. Tap and lift. Make sure that weight is centered between the arms. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. 2 more. Should feel those glutes again. Last one, lift. Bend the knee, lower down. Sit back on the heels. Take a nice stretch. Shift the weight side to side. Whatever feels good for you here. You're at home, no one's watching. You can do whatever feels good for you. And let's pop back up. We'll get set right for the other side. So again, let's have the hands right underneath the shoulders. Knees underneath the hips. Pulling your ribs off the floor so that core is engaged. Again, find that weight centered through the body, and let's try to keep that weight centered. So we're going to lift that left leg back this time, flex the foot, knees parallel to the ground. We're going to put that footprint on the ceiling. So we press, press, press. So you're trying to press from that area where the glute meets the hamstring. We call it the thigh, technical term. Again, trying to center that weight. For 2. 1, lower the knee. It hovers just above the mat for fire hydrants. We're going to open out to the side and down. Open and close. So you're going to feel the side of the behind working. Lift and lower. Exhale, lift Inhale, lower. For 2. Last one, lower, send the leg back, we lift it up. Level off those hips. Center the weight. Ribs pull up. For 2. Last one, lift. Now we're going to sweep that leg forward. The foot comes by the hand. Shift forward into a nice runner's lunge. Enjoy that stretch because it doesn't last for long. Lift the leg, the knee comes underneath you, and we send it back. So we go forward, lunge, under, and back. Forward lunge, under, and back. You can take this faster, you can take this slower. Just find a pace that works for you this morning. I love this one just because you get that full body working. You also get a stretch and some work. Just a few more here. Let's go for 2. Last one. Send it back, hold. So shift that weight center, and then you're going to take that straight leg, tap it across the body behind you, and lift it up. So you go across and down, lift it up. Push up through those shoulders again. Try not to sink into that opposite hip, center the weight. Ribs are pulling up. 2 more here. Last one, lift. Bend that knee down, sit back on the heels. Shift the weight side to side, whatever feels good for you here. I'm gonna roll out my wrist. Deep breath in, long exhale out. Deep breath in, long exhale out. One more, deep breath in, long exhale out. And we'll hop up. And let's get ready for our plank. So, you're already in all fours. We'll bring those hands right underneath the shoulders again. Walking the knees underneath the hips. So options here. I'm going to go into a mountain climber. You can join me for that, or you can hold a full plank, or you can go into your forearms and hold a plank there if that's better for your body. So I'm pushing up through my shoulders. I'm going to walk one foot back. Find that nice long plank position. And then the other foot. So find a good sturdy position, hands under the shoulders, pushing away from the floor. Tuck the tail down, pull the frontal hip points towards the rib cage. I'm going to lift from my belly to pull my right knee into my chest. Send it back, lower the foot down. Switching sides, we pull in, back, and down. Start out nice and slow. Make sure that you're using the belly to pull the knee in and not just the momentum of your leg. We don't want the hips hiking up as the knee pulls in. We're keeping the hips low and pulling the knee underneath. Feel free to pick up the pace if you feel like it, or not. You get full credit no matter what you're doing here. And back. Exhale forward, inhale back. Just a few more sets here. 2 more. 1 more each side. Send it back, drop the knees. Child's pose. Very nice work, everyone. Roll out the wrist if you need to. Whatever feels good for you here. Deep breath in, and your long exhale. Deep breath in. Long exhale. 1 more deep breath. And exhale, round it all the way. Okay, we're going to get set up for our side plank of the day. This one's going to be a little more challenging than normal, so just setting expectations here. Options, if you don't want to join me for the challenge today, you can come down onto the forearm and just hold a side plank. You could also just come up onto the hand and hold a side plank. You could do no side plank. You can go back and do one of the ab exercises we did earlier. So just listen to your body and do whatever you feel is best for you today. I'm going to set up on my right side first. I'm going to have my hand underneath my shoulder. I'm going to extend both legs. I'm going to have my legs stacked today for this challenge since we're going to be lifting our bottom leg. So I'm going to go ahead and find a nice staggered feet position. And I'm going to have my top hand behind my head. So really push up through that bottom shoulder. From here, I'm going to pick up my bottom leg and rotate my top shoulder down to my bottom knee, and then send it back. So we rotate and back. So nice crunch, like a bicycle crunch, but from a side plank position. Just 3 more here for 3, 2, 1, send it back, hold just for 3, 2, 1, lower the hips. Very nice work, everyone. Thank you for indulging me. Let's do the other side. So again, I'm gonna have my feet staggered, hand underneath the shoulder. I'm gonna use my top hand just for support to help get me up, and then bring that top hand behind the head. So really push up through that side body, trying to make a little rainbow underneath your side, and then that bottom knee comes to top elbow. Send it back. We exhale and inhale. Exhale, inhale. Really pick that side up even more as you come in for that crunch. For 3, 2, last one, send it back, hold here just for 3, 2, 1, lower down. Very nice. Let's just take a quick stretch here. Remember, take a deep inhale, exhale, reach one arm up and over to the side. Nice little lateral stretch here. We did a lot of oblique work today, so that should feel nice. Deep inhale. Long exhale so you can bend a little deeper. Inhale. Exhale, come over to the other side. Nice stretch here down that side of the body. Inhale. Exhale so you can get a little deeper. Inhale. Exhale, come up to center. Let's take a nice big collective breath in. Deep inhale. Arms reach up overhead, filling up the back and sides of the ribcage with air. And exhale, let it all up. One more deep breath in. And a long exhale out. Very nice work today, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.